like this. So I'm an operational forecaster as well, and usually when I come to work, I start to look at the satellite images and other observations that give me a good overview of the and a bigger picture of what's going on in atmosphere. So here I also took the water vapor channel, the 6.2 micrometers from 9 UTC today. And if you remember, we have the more whiter and brighter colors indicate more moist air. And then the darker colors indicate drier air. And this gives us a good overview of what is going on. So we have the, the frontal system reaching from basically up here in the north, Finland and Scandinavia, and then towards Britain and western part of France. And you can also see or indicate the jet here, and then we have looks like we have a trough behind on the western part of the frontal band. And then we have more drier air here in the southern part of the Europe, with some places also with some moisture air. And then it looks like we have an low pressure. Sorry, let me get this. Yes, low pressure here in the western part of Russia as well. And then after that, I also put on some model data. So I have the European 500 hectopascal geopotential here in blue isolines on top of the water vapor channel. So we can see that you have the trough here over Britain and going further down. And then we have a very strong ridge over large parts of Central Europe, reaching up towards Finland as well. And then we have the upper level low in Western Russia. And then after that, I also put on top of this, I put the isotachs 300 hectopascal to see where the jet streams looks to be. So they also are, as we can see from the water vapor, on top of where we were seeing it in the water vapor channel as well. And then going down here in the eastern part of Europe and then further. And then I also took the Airmass RGB also from the 9 UTC time. And we can see here the frontal clouds in thicker clouds in white colors. And then we have the red colors here are indicating PV anomalies and also the position of the jet. So we can see red colors here in western part of Britain and west of the frontal layer. And then also in central part of Europe, you have some reddish colors, and also then in the east. And also here I put up on top the model data to see how it looks and to compare the satellite imagery with the model data. So here we have the same geopotential height, so 500 hectopascal. Again, see the trough in the west, and then we have the ridge of a large part of Europe, and then the upper level low in west of Russia. And also the same for the isotachs. So now we at least got some kind of overview of what's are the big flows in Europe right now. And then I also took a look at the cloud type RGB from MTG at 9 UTC, and I also put on the right side the different colors, what the different colors mean if you're not that familiar with this product yet. So we have in yellow, orange colors, we have thick ice clouds, so where we had the fronts going on, and also here in where we had the upper level low in the western part of Russia. And then you can also see very well the low clouds, which are here in cyan or blue colors, light blue colors. So it is very easy to separate the different height of the clouds. So you have the low clouds in cyan, and then you have the thick clouds in yellow, and then the red colors are indicating very high, thin cirrus clouds. So what we have, for example, here in Estonia and some in Finland here as well. But as we have a large part of Europe and central part of Europe, we have a lot of areas where we don't have any clouds at all at 9 UTC. And then I took as next one to compare also the other new product, the Cloud Phase RGB, which, as the name indicates, also is good to use when you want to know what the phase of the cloud is. So when we have bluer colors, it indicates ice clouds, and then yellow and red colors are indicating water clouds. And this one is a good product also to use when you are looking for convection, because when you have bluer colors, you will have some ice clouds, which indicates convection and updrafts in those areas. But then to remember that, for example, dark blue on the ground can also indicate snow. So you need to be a bit to check out where we have which kind of blue colors we have in the satellite imagery. But yes, and so that when you have more darker blue colors, you also have more large particles, ice particles, and then with more lighter blue colors, cyan colors, you have small particles. So when you have a very light blue colors, you could have an indication of strong updrafts because you have small ice particles, and so could indicate severe weather. But so here in this picture, you could easily see where you had the higher clouds and also the lower clouds. And then I took a little bit closer look on northern part of Italy and so on. So here is for 9 UTC the Cloud Phase RGB, and then if we go 1 hour ahead to 10 UTC, you can see that we get more areas with cyan colors. So we have some convective clouds going on, and then also I have for the next 11. So here is 10 UTC, and then I put also up the LI, so the lightning imager, where we have indication of flashes, which are here in light yellow colors. So it can be a bit tricky to see because you also have the cloud phase in the back, where you also have the water clouds are in yellows as well. And then we go also to 11 UTC, so 1 hour more, and you have even more areas with flashes and more areas with lighter blue colors. And I did the same also just to see how it looked yesterday in the same areas, because we basically had almost the same flow going on in Europe yesterday as well. So here is I now have images from 11 UTC to 17 UTC from yesterday at 1st of July. So first we have some areas with convective cyan colors. And then when we go to the next hours, you can see that we get more and more areas for each hours where we have clouds growing and some convection going on. So this can be a very good product to use when you are looking for nowcasting of convective clouds. So you can really see the structure as well in the cloud tops, how it looks, and it gets more cyan. So then we have more small ice particles, and which indicates strong updrafts. And then the last at 17 UTC, I also put up the lightning imager, so where you can have the flashes. And then we could have a look just a little bit on the model data. So this is from today at 9 UTC. I have the 500 hectopascal geopotential in black isolines. And then in colors, you have the 850 hectopascal of temperature. And then in numbers, the 2 meter temperatures. And then also I have added the jets, which is going there from Britain towards Finland. And then also in east of Europe. But we have the very, very warm and hot temperatures in large areas of southern part of Europe and towards also France and Germany. And even up, it's been getting a bit warmer today also up in Finland, in the southern part of Finland. But very hot temperatures. I've been having this heat wave now in Spain, Portugal, France, and Germany, and there are a lot of heat warnings out in those countries as well. And then if we go to 9 to 15 UTC, so today evening or afternoon, we can see that the ridge and the jet is moving a little bit to the east slowly, and the draft is coming as well. So the system looks to be moving slowly to the east. And then we have still pretty saturated the upper level low here in the western part of Russia. And then we move towards tomorrow, 12 UTC tomorrow. And now you can see that the jet and the fronts start to move further to the east and a bit towards the north as well. So we are expecting more rain here in Scandinavia and Finland for the next day. And the ridge is moving also a bit to the east, and we'll have the cold front going from the north to the central part of Europe, where we could also have some severe weather along the cold front or ahead of it. And then I also put the data for Friday at 12 UTC. So the low pressure is now over eastern part of Finland, and the warmer air is moving a bit to the east and still having it in the south as well. But otherwise, in Germany, we already have a bit colder air masses, and also north of France and so on. But the whole region, the whole system is moving slowly to the east. Then I also took the weekly anomalies from ECMWF to see how the anomalies looks for the next weeks. So this is for 7th to 14th of July. We have cold anomalies in large areas from Scandinavia, Finland, towards central part of Europe, and also now in France and Spain we have many areas with white colors, so no positive anomaly. But then in the eastern part, on the other hand, of Europe, we have positive temperature anomalies expecting next week. And then if we go 1 week further, in the mid of July, it shifts a bit so that we have in large areas in Europe a small warm anomaly, temperature anomaly. And then also the similar picture looks to stay also for the end of July, so the 3rd week from now on. But then we have a cold anomaly in east of Finland and western Russia, basically. And then if you look at the pressure anomalies, so we have the next week, we have low pressure anomalies in large areas, but then we have an indication of higher pressures for the next week in the north of Europe, but then in the southern and central part of Europe we have lower anomalies. And a similar picture also for the last week of July. Yes, I think this was everything from my presentation. Are there any questions?